What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to be talking about the new warriors, the new raid team we are getting for Mystic nodes in the Doom raid. We got Cloak and Dagger, and we also have Deathpool. We've already seen the kit for Deathpool. We're going to talk about the kits for Cloak and Dagger in today's video. This team is going to be very powerful in raids, much like how we have the Secret Avengers with your skill nodes. This is going to be the same thing with Mystic nodes, where Cloak, Dagger, and Deathpool have this new Warriors team that they all just kind of team up. There's buffs to Mystic heroes on the team as well, so characters like Silver Surfer are going to be working really well with this team. But there's some very interesting mechanics that come with this team as well. There's a Hellsteel that comes with Cloak, and then Dagger is constantly healing up. There's a lot of abilities that can apply vulnerable. There's some very high damage with the team as well. So we're going to talk about all that in today's video, but also we do want to talk about this new Warriors team as a whole and some concerns that were brought up in the Zoom chat we had with developers the other day about this. And Mobile Gamer brought this up in the chat, and I feel he's gonna be talking about it in his video as well. Is that as strong as this team is, these new Warriors, is the question of if they're gonna be tuning the future raids around this kind of team, just how strong they are in the raids and how they're dominating. You can see here these characters are just dominant. You can see they've even got teal on the enemy characters that you can see in the portion in the top right corner. They're teal, and so these are very high level characters, and these are all gear 14 characters on the player team, and they're just tearing apart this node without any real issues. So this team is going to be very powerful for the raids, and the big concern that was brought up was that if you don't have the new Warriors, you don't have the Secret Avengers, you don't have these other meta raid teams that are being brought out, are you going to be falling behind? And does that make the other team characters we've built up for the Doom raid less powerful, not as useful? And they never really gave us a good answer on that one. They said there was like an awkward pause for about 5 seconds, and then the developer said, I'll get back to you guys on that one. So pretty much they're going to be tuning this so that you have to have these teams if you're looking to progress in the Doom raids, which I understand that. It's a big concern, though, when you build up some of these characters over time, and then all of a sudden, they're not going to be as good in the Doom raid. We'll see how that all works out in the end, but we have the Secret Avengers with skill. We have the new Warriors with the Mystic nodes. We'll see what we get with your bio nodes, and I'm sure we'll get something for tech as well eventually. Mutants pretty good already with Astonishing X-Men, so I don't expect that one to be changed. Astonishing X-Men work just fine in the mutant nodes, so I think we'll be fine there. But we'll see what they do for bio and tech nodes. But as you guys can see, these Mystic characters work very, very well. Constant Hellsteel with Cloak, and then a lot of speed bar reduction every time they apply offense down in raids, which is a big deal because they're constantly applying offense down. So that's not going to be a big problem at all. And then Deathpool is just doing a ton of damage too. So without any further ado, let's get into these kits and let's take a look at them because these kits are very, very impressive. So first up is Cloak, Hero City Mystic Controller New Warriors. Basic is called Into Darkness. It applies assist now to random dagger allies and attacks the primary target for 300% damage and applies offense down on the basic. On the special, with a 3/3 cost, Umbral Embrace, clear all positive effects from the primary target, attack primary target for 300% damage, and apply slow for 2 turns, plus defense down for 2 turns, and offense down for 2 turns. Gain assist at 50% damage from one random dagger ally. And then the ultimate is called Shadow Assault. 5/5 energy cost, attack all enemies 280% damage, and apply 3 random negative effects from this list. Blind, defense down, disrupted, offense down, and slow. Apply +1 vulnerable up to max of 5. And then if Dagger is an ally, additionally attack all enemies with 380% piercing. Apply +1 offense down up to a maximum of 5 to all enemies. And then his passive is called Dark Force Conduit. At the end of this character's turn, 50% chance to health steal 5% health from the most injured enemy and all adjacent enemies and redistribute to herself. If Dagger is an ally, always steal 5% health. And in raids, when an enemy gains offense down, reduce the speed bar of that enemy by 15%. 40% focus for Cloak. If Dagger is present, another 30% focus. And Mystic Hero allies gain 40% bonus focus. 20% dodge chance, and if Dagger is an ally, another 10% dodge chance on top of that. And then in raids, 15% bonus damage for him and new warrior allies. And while this character has offense up, gain an additional 20% bonus dodge chance. So let's start with the fact that everything here is applying offense down. There's just offense down throughout this. If Dagger's around, which you're going to be using Dagger with Cloak anyways, that just makes sense. Offense down on the ultimate, offense down on for 2 turns on the special, offense down on the basic, and every time offense down is applied, reduce the speed bar by 15%. And that's only in raids. If that was outside of raids, I would feel this would be a little too strong, but it's kind of crazy how that made it through, was only exclusive to raids. And then we see things with like Captain America Sam where he's in his ultimate and just building up speed bar on everyone and all skill allies. So that one's a little interesting. I'm surprised to see that was exclusive to raids and that it wasn't like powered down to like 5% or 10% outside of raids. But hey, I'm not going to complain. That's pretty strong on its own. If Dagger is there, always stealing 5% health from the most injured ally and adjacent enemies and redistributing. That's a big deal. And like like I may have said earlier, this does not ignore death proof. So this will death proof will block this if this is going to kill an enemy. This is not something that this is something they've actually changed up recently, where characters like Minerva and Phoenix, their health steals will still ignore death proof. And they said going forward, new characters, unless said otherwise, will no longer ignore death proof, which means they probably were working on this kit and realized that there could be some problems with this, and so they changed the mechanics for future health steal abilities. Then the bonus focus for himself and other Mystic Hero allies at 20% dodge chance plus another 10% of daggers there, and while he has offense up, he gains another 20%. So if he has offense up on himself, he's going to have pretty much 50% dodge chance, which can be very, very annoying. He doesn't really give offense up to himself, but that's going to be coming through other characters, so you don't have to worry about finding ways to stack offense up on him. He's going to get it on his own. They say that he has very high focus and resistance. This is boosted by his passive, which increases resistance. The resistance increases from Dagger's passive, and the passive on his side increases his focus. Very strong controller that debuffs enemies on each ability. Essentially gets 2 attacks, sort of. And the health steal, they're kind of counting as another attack, but I kind of disagree on that one. But combined with Dagger, all abilities hit harder. He either calls her to assist or team attacks with her. And recommended to use Skirmisher on him because he gives out a lot of negative effects. And also is something new, applying vulnerable through here without the use of ISO. So that's pretty cool to see. I wonder if we're going to see this more often where other characters are going to be applying vulnerable in the future. We'll see what happens with that, but this looks like this is going to require a focus check. At least that's what their notes say here. So that Skirmisher is going to be very, very important for him. Make sure you have that Skirmisher built up so that vulnerable does stick. Obviously, you do want to use him with Dagger. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. And then other Mystic Heroes. So Deathpool, Silver Surfer. I'm trying to think of other Mystic Heroes off the top of my head. But also, surprisingly, Mystic Villains are kind of left in the cold here, which is interesting. I guess they don't want to make Doom too powerful in the raids, which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, can you imagine Doom with 15% bonus damage on him? But yeah, Mystic Heroes don't have a lot of, or Mystic Villains are kind of getting the short end of the stick here with this boost here. So this is interesting, but let's move on to Dagger. Hero City, Mystic Support, and New Warriors. Basic is Piercing Light. Attack the primary target for 250% piercing. Applies 2 bleeds and applies 2 regen to the 2 most injured allies or self. And assist now from random Cloak ally. Remember that assist now from Cloak will now cause them to apply offense down, which in turn reduces the speed bar on the enemy. The special is Peak and the 5/5 energy cost. Attack primary target for 320% piercing. Clear all positive effects, chain to 4 adjacent targets for 290% piercing, and on crit, clear 3 random positive effects. Clear heal block from all Mystic Hero allies, and heal all allies for 20% of this character's max health. The ultimate is called Sissone Attitude. Someone's going to tell me how to pronounce that one correctly. 3/5 energy, attack all enemies for 380% piercing, applies 1 offense down up to a max of 5, and if Cloak is an ally, additionally attack for 280% damage, apply 3 random negative effects from this list: blind, defense down, disrupt, offense down, and slow, and apply +1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5 to all enemies. The passive is called Light Force Generation. On spawn, apply 3 regen for 2 turns to self and all Mystic Hero allies. On turn, apply offense up to self and all adjacent allies. On turn, 50% chance to gain evade, 100% chance if Cloak is an ally. and gain 50% bonus resistance. If Cloak is an ally, another 30%. Mystic Heroes allies gain 50% bonus resistance. And in raids, gain 15% bonus damage. New Warrior allies gain 15% bonus damage as well. So going back to that passive, it gives the offense up to herself and adjacent allies. This is where that offense up synergizes very nicely with the passive on Cloak. That is how you're going to give the offense up to him. So it's going to deal a lot of damage, and his abilities also gains another 20% dodge chance with it. Very important to make sure that Cloak and Dagger are stacked next to each other as a result. But also 15% bonus damage for New Warrior allies through the passive on Cloak. Another 15% bonus damage for New Warrior allies through Dagger. So you've got some interesting stacking here. 30% bonus damage all around for New Warrior allies with this. That's why Deathpool is going to be very important with this team. That 50% bonus resistance, another 30% very high resistance for her. Mystic Heroes get 50% bonus resistance as well. That a chance to gain evade, constantly gain evade, that offense up is very powerful for this team. Even outside of raids, I think you're still going to get some use for this team. That offense up, that evasion, those aren't raid specific abilities. So you are going to get some very nice effects outside of that, outside of raids with these characters. 50% damage bonus is locked to raids, and you don't get that other 20% dodge chance with Cloak, but you are still getting offense up. You're still getting the constant offense down. But also, both characters kind of steal from Moon Knight here a little bit with their ultimates. You know, applying the clearing positive effects, and then applying 3 random negative effects. That really sounds like something you'd expect with Moon Knight. So it's interesting to see them using that here. It doesn't clear positive effects, but it does apply several negative effects. Blind, disrupt, and offense down is a killer combo. I mean, that's not a good combo to have. So both those characters are able to do it on their ultimate. So it's like having another Moon Knight on the team. Moon Knight is also a Mystic hero character. I completely forgot about that. So you could potentially run Moon Knight, Cloak, and Dagger all together and just have negative effects for days on the enemy team. So that would be a fun little combo to see. I wonder if that would actually work. We'll have to try that out in testing. But yeah, Moon Knight with those two plus Deathpool, oof, that sounds pretty nasty. But yeah, she has very high health, damage is very good, and she has all of her attacks are piercing, which is significantly better for damage. Focus is very high, allowing her to land a good chance to land her bleeds and clear enemy buffs. High damage support character. On her turn, able to apply offense up for herself and adjacents, add great firepower to the team, especially when combined with Cloak, where he went over that. Healer and Striker, both are good ISO recommendations for her. Healer, she's constantly healing the Striker. She deals great damage. But also, I mean, Vulnerable or Skirmisher probably works pretty well too. You know, kind of making sure you apply that Vulnerable on her ultimate here, the negative effects there. Very important to apply those. So Skirmisher, I think, would also work very well for her because the able to apply the bleeds, the offense down, the other negative effects. I think Skirmisher would be another good option for her too. We'll see how it all works out in the end. Obviously, she works really well with Cloak, and Mystic Heroes, she works really, really well with Moon Knight too. So, I mean, these are your Mystic Heroes right now. Adam Warlock, America Chavez. I mean, most of these are ones you're probably going to be passing on. But, yeah, Adam Warlock, Moon Knight, Silver Surfer, White Tiger. Oh, man. I wonder... See, I kind of want to mess with a combo of Shadowland and New Warriors. See what that does. I mean, White Tiger plus Moon Knight plus the three New Warriors. That sounds like fun. I really want to try that. But, yeah, I mean, your Mystic Heroes, I mean, Adam Warlock's going to be great. He's constantly extending buffs as well. So you can use that with the Disrupt and the stuns, too. I think Adam Warlock's going to work really well with New Warriors, too. But let me know down below what you guys think of this team and this kit. And you guys have any concerns? You guys share my concerns about Doom Raid being tuned around teams like this. Let me know down below. But as always, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.